So, die ist eben zu Ende, dann können wir gleich mit Trial anfangen, ja? So.
Fuck you!
Ah, jetzt habe ich das Easter Egg verpasst. Worum ging es denn in dem Easter Egg, Metal? So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how did it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I'm stuck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. This guy. Huh? We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's a trump card I have up in my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we are dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Alter. Ah, okay, verstehe, Metal. Willkommen in der Welt von Phoenix Wright, Anton. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. Ach, total toller Fisch. Natürlich nicht, sonst gäbe es diese wundervollen Spiele ja leider nicht. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness on the day to the stand. First, for its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect, you mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did this. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from... Sir! I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir? Give us a report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Heb doch mal den armen Richter. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, then I did it. After that, I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake. Der Arme wurde auch noch wachgeprügelt. Huh. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto the others before they unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and college, or your colleague, helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Sprich, wir werden ihn pressure. Hey, Philip. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yeah, my boy!
Voll das gewaltverherrlichende Spielmonke ist Skybreaker! Dankeschön für 25 Monate. Willkommen zurück, mein Freund. Sehr lieb von dir. Yes, sir. I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes. Now there's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during your transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Hey, robot. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Müsste der letzte sein, oder? There it is, I found it! This is the one right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir, it's 4989596. That's my number, sir. I see, huh? But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during the second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. Okay, neue Infos. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir, a knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's why when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you would just keep your cool, your hand wouldn't be. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. What exactly do you mean when you say, did it? I know I don't look like the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed the disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. I see. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew, yes, he punched me right in my face, sir. Und Karma hätte bestimmt die 1, ja, weil er die Nummer 1 ist. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me hard in the head too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice, I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor, only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to me, to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief? Delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and I was told it had been mistakenly erased. It's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Oh, jetzt geht's los, Freunde. Jetzt geht's los. Vor allen Dingen, wie sein Gesicht halt zensiert wird. Das ist so gut. Wie sein Gesicht einfach zensiert wird. Alter! That's brutal. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that's the pride and the joy of the Eternal Criminal Affairs Department, sir. It's a Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Die Musik ist super. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room and some sort of activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, The witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Five Nights at Freddy's. Und ab da habe ich angefangen, die Blue-Badge zu hassen. Ich auch. Mystery Man. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprints to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. Okay. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Warte mal, im Video auf einen bei dem Schrank der Lumpen da und bei anderen nicht. Ja, ja. His face can't be... Warte, ich muss mir jetzt erstmal wieder das Video angucken. Das sind so diese Fälle, die einen auch irgendwie ein bisschen auf den Sack gehen, weil man sich die da halt einfach angucken muss jedes Mal, ne? Kann ich das eigentlich irgendwie vorspulen? Kann ich das nicht vorspulen? Tatsächlich nicht. Der Schrank war schon auf. Der Schrank war schon auf, ne? Seht ihr das in dem Video? Der Schrank ist auf. Das leuchtet schon. Ja, der Schrank ist schon auf. Und wir haben hier nochmal Evidence Locker. Only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it. Indicator lamps lights up when it's open. Oh, okay. Ich bin mir hier tatsächlich nicht ganz sicher. Also hier gehen einige Sachen klar. Dementsprechend speichere ich vorher, bevor wir alles noch von vorne machen müssen. Okay. But there's no question that the other person... Also ich will mir überlegen, ob ich pressen soll oder ob ich direkt was präsentieren soll. Pressen wir. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife. So, sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see? Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I'd bet my badge on it. Oh, then Cheetah Bang, huh? But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins! Ah! Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claimed the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only responded to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, or registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir, they keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the opened locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir. Please do, after all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? There is a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man in this video is... Okay. Fast forward... Das hier oder nicht? Das hier, oder? Wie gesagt, das Fach ist schon auf. Das Fach ist auf. Das heißt, jeder andere könnte das Schließfach öffnen. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint if it's a match. The light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Feels good, man, clap. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. It's lit, fam. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! Order, order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor. Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system sensor. Something? Jammed the sensor? Say? There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this. Da fällt der Handschuh raus. In dem Moment, wo er das Dingens aufmacht. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. No thoughts for you. Der Handschuh hat das Schloss blockiert. Richtig. Irgendwie sowas in der Art. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distance. We can't be sure. That item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Nice voice acting, by the way. Beste. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes, but the object would have been extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator you don't... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker room? Ja, der Handschuh, oder nicht? Das hat man doch gesehen. Extremely thin rubber glove, ja. Hallo? I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened the locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. Order, order, order! So, are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stepped in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony.